Hi, I'm Oliver. Ever since I was 8 years old, I've been obsessed with creating stuff, starting businesses, and making money. And on this channel, I share the things I learn and the things that I'm continuing to learn. Today, I'll share with you 5 concrete ways that you can get started with your entrepreneurial journey. But I'm also going to give you a framework for thinking about which business opportunities or side hustle opportunities you should be choosing. Before we get into the 5 concrete ways that you can start making money in 2025, let's talk about the number one thing that will always be the greatest opportunity. And that is a business that is unique to you. There's a saying that you can't see the mountain that you're standing on. We see all these amazing people doing incredible things on the internet that we're distracted and we are not able to see the mountain of knowledge and potential that we're standing on. To start by asking yourself, what makes me different? What makes me unique? That could be you love reading, you love writing, maybe you love philosophy, maybe you love racing rabbits like I did when I was like 10 years old. Maybe you love acing all of your exams, or maybe you love cooking Asian food. It could be literally anything. And the fantastic thing is that because of the internet has allowed us to connect with people who share our specific interests, you don't have to choose a broad interest that a lot of people are interested in. You can choose a niche thing that only 100 people all over the earth is interested in, and chances are there'll be a lot more than 100 people. Whatever it is, just think about what makes me unique. Hopefully you've now been able to look down at the mountain of knowledge, skills, and unique experience that you possess, and have been able to pick out a couple of ideas of things you could potentially monetize and start a business around. If not, it's okay. We have the five concrete ideas that will come up later in the video. But before we continue, there's one concept which is probably the most important concept in business in general, and that is leverage. So I haven't got a lot of room here, but I can draw in this little area here. So leverage is the difference between what you put in and what you get out. Imagine trying to lift this block, right? You're trying to lift that block. This is high leverage because you have this box here, right? And you're putting in a little bit and you're getting out a lot. This would be low leverage because you have to push really hard and you get nothing in exchange. So let's apply this concept to business. Which opportunities do we have right now in business where we are putting in a little bit of effort and we are getting out an extraordinary amount of output? Well, the internet. The internet has allowed us to go to another level of leverage. Instead of talking to people one-on-one or 1 to like 15 people in a room, you can now make one piece of content that is like 2 hours of your life you spend on making a piece of content, and the whole world can see that piece of content. That is the ultimate leverage. Online communities. You can now build a community in a niche. You can network with the entire world. You can make a post, the entire world can see it. You can share your opinion, the entire world can see it. That is high leverage. You're putting in a little bit and you're getting out an extraordinary amount. Selling online, right? Building a store, it isn't a brick and mortar store anymore. You don't have to have people coming into your physical location. You can have an online store, sell to the entire world, and leverage like the social platforms for advertising. You have to be familiar with this concept of leverage, because when you have your idea, like what makes you unique, when you found that thing, and you found a couple skills or a couple experiences that are unique to you, when you found those, you have to think, how can I apply leverage? Not only leverage my own unique skills, but how can I leverage the times we're living in, the internet, basically stack the deck of cards in my favor. Now let's talk about the 5 concrete ways that I've picked out that I think are some of the absolute best opportunities right now. As I'm in the same situation as you, I'm starting a business and I'm thinking through how can I use my unique abilities and how can I use leverage to get my input to yield a higher output. The number one leverage skill that you can have in 2025 is editing and video creation. And you've probably heard thousands of people telling you this already, and it's because it's true, right? But the people that you've heard it from might not have explained why. And the reason why is that when you are able to create content, to create videos, you're able to create one video and influence the entire world. There are multiple ways you can leverage this. You don't have to be in front of the camera talking. You can just be an editor. And freelance editors are one of the highest demand jobs at the moment. Businesses and people want to create content because that is one of the highest leveraged things you can do in 2025. And guess what? Creating content requires a lot of editors. Learning to create a short, let's say, is literally extremely easy. You have to get some free program. There's lots of free programs that you can use. Davini Resolve is one. Then when you have learned to use the software, then the way that you get your first customer is very simple. Instead of reaching out to 1,000 people, trying to convince them to hire you as their editor, then the easiest way to get clients is by actually finding someone that you admire, someone that you would love to make content for. Go take their content, download it with an extension, and re-edit their videos. Send them some edits that you think are even better than the ones that they've already created. Maybe you want to send them thumbnail ideas. So you take their thumbnail, their picture, and you remake the thumbnail. You send them 3 variations, and then you say, here you go, I optimized your thumbnails and your video. Here you go, it's all free and you can have it. And then you've already provided value first. And then the person, if he's interested, he'll know that you're already able to provide value. The second way, and this is actually one that I'm exploring myself currently, and that is starting a community, an online community. And there's a platform called Skool, spelled like SKOOL.com. And this platform enables you to build a community and also offer a course within that community. And you can make it free of charge, and you can charge for a monthly subscription to this community. And there's loads of cool features in here. I urge you to go onto this platform, search up the things that you're interested in, and just explore the platform, because you'll see that there are incredibly creative communities around niche subjects. I'll give you an example. The Pooper Scooper Millionaire community is like the sixth biggest community on the platform. You have 650 people paying like $150 or $100 a month to be a part of the Pooper Scooper community, which is a community of business owners, of people who start a Pooper Scooper business, which is like scooping dog shit. I just had to wrap my head around that when I first realized that was actually a business venture. But I guess you can do that as well. Just to say that you can literally start a community around the weirdest thing that you're interested in, because you can probably find some folks that are also interested in that. And how would you do that? Well, you'd go on to groups that already exist. You would go onto Reddit. You would write and say, I've made this community for people who are interested in pooper scooping. Come join it. And then you have this community of people. The third way that you could start making money and creating an entire business is learning to make short content. So short content has popped off in the last couple of years. And I don't know if you know, but there's this whole agency world where people are running short form agencies. And the idea is get some clients, offer them an incredible offer of making like 90 pieces of short form content a month, and then get some people overseas to do the job for you with the editing and collect the profits. One guy from my class is running this sort of business and making thousands of dollars every month, and he basically does nothing. By entering this specific business venture, you take advantage of the leverage of the internet, the leverage of these platforms that are literally made to connect people with content that they're highly interested in. Brands and companies absolutely love to be on these platforms because that is one of the best ways that they can build their brand. And businesses know this, but a lot of businesses haven't even started yet. So there's this blue ocean of huge demand but very little supply. If you decide to actually make shorts, I will urge you to do the same thing as before by providing value first. Let's say you want to work with psychologists, right? You can create like content not specifically around the psychologist clinic, but you can create content around psychology in general that a lot of people will be interested in. You can find a fun psychological fact about humans or how we interact in relationships or whatever, and you can create that piece of content using images, stock footage, and AI to create images, and you can even use AI to generate the speak. And then you can put that together, send it over to business owner and see the response. Maybe they don't want it, maybe they want it, possibly you can just send those same 3 videos to another psychologist and get their response. If you just get one shorts client, you could potentially be making a lot of money. This guy I know is making over $1,000 per client that he does this for. And mind you, he does none of the work, so I guess I don't know how good the quality might be. Number 4 is one that I've mentioned before. It's taking advantage of crowds. This is another one where you get a lot of leverage because you have an already existing crowd. Let's say there's this county fair, there's this get-together, there's this festival, there's a lot of people out on the beach, there's this natural site that people come to visit near you. Start thinking about how can you monetize this potential energy, this potential spending power that is a crowd that is assembled. If you have a beach near you, what do people want when they're laying and having a hot time at the beach? They want cool things. They want slush ice, they want ice cream, water possibly, just soda, whatever. You could sell these things, you could create a little stand, you can buy all these things cheaply from the store and you can set up your stand, or you could just take a cooler, buy some ice and go out and sell that ice cream at a premium price, of course. Of course, you have to make sure that it is like legal to actually put up a stand where you're thinking about doing it. If you're a young person, loads of people will love that you're an entrepreneur and wants to start something. So they'll be like, yeah, come onto my property and set up your stand here, I'll love it. The 5th and final idea is one that lies very near to my heart, and that is road stands. So it is closely related to this taking advantage of crowds as a form of leverage. But road stands is one that I've used personally. I've sold honey, I've sold grown vegetables, I've sold eggs, firewood also. The leverage part in road stands is that you can make a road stand and you don't have to be there all day. You don't have to stand behind the counter and wait for people to come in. And you have thousands of people driving by this road every single day. I saw this guy on YouTube who claimed he was making $2,000 a day by selling watermelons. He had this big trailer filled up with watermelons that I guess maybe he knew a farmer, maybe he grew them himself. And he had a big sign which says like watermelon, $5 or whatever it costs. And then thousands of people would drive in and buy watermelon. And it's like also a very broad product that everyone just loves, watermelon. Essentially, you're taking advantage of some traffic that already exists, that you don't have to create. You don't have to create the traffic and sell the product. You just have to sell the product. And that is leverage. I'll urge you to make a road stand, go out, grow some potatoes, grow some leeks, grow some salad, get some chickens that make some eggs, sell them, sell some honey, sell whatever you can imagine. I really hope that you not only consume this video, but that you're actually going to change your behavior, meaning you're going to go out, start your business. Because one thing I know is that doing something is better than doing nothing. If you're currently doing nothing, then anything is better.